So people think that it's like torturing the person. But that's what the mindset is.
Because they break your wrist, they break your ribs. Wow.
Hey guys, so I am starting a PA school vlog this week. As you guys might have seen, this the month of April, the 8th of April, and it's currently like 10:30 now. I just got back from uni. As you guys might have seen, I was trying to finish my lobs. Monday night lobs gang. Always leaving your lobs too late. But guys, actually this week's lobs are long because we're doing the musculoskeletal system. It's long. MSK is so long. Like, I'm gonna show you guys my notes and show you guys all the conditions in the matrix that we have to learn for MSK. Like, I'm not even joking, it's long. I know that students like to complain that things are long and hard, but this is literally long and hard. But yeah, my friend's birthday is tomorrow, Clem. If you know Clem from the previous vlogs, you've seen her. She turns 25 tomorrow, and yay, we're just gonna celebrate that this week. And I'm finally gonna show you guys how I type up my notes, because I've been promising to do that. I thought I would just incorporate that into this vlog when I get the chance throughout the week. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and sleep early tonight. I'm just gonna do my devotions and sleep, because I want to go to PBL early tomorrow. Not that I go late, it's just that I always turn up like 1 minute before the time and stuff, and I don't want to keep going 1 minute before the time, especially because I don't live very far from uni. So I got this book called Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. This book has been on my to-read list for a long time, and I've heard so much about the book. It's not a new book really, it came out like ages ago, like so long ago, and I read, you guys know, and I'm ashamed to call myself a reader of Christian fiction when I haven't read that book. So I'm gonna read it, but because the book is based on the book of Hosea, I'm going to try and read the book of Hosea first and then read the book, because I like to do that. I just want to go back and read the book of Hosea again and then read the book. So that's the plan. So I'm going to do my devotions and then I'll sleep, and then I will speak to you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, so it's Tuesday morning and I'm just about to head for PBL now. So it's about 8:59, and today's my friend's 25th birthday. So it's Clem's 25th birthday. So we are planning to go for a movie this evening. We're going to watch Us. And yeah, so this morning we have PBL, and then later on in the afternoon we have this lecture which is all about caring for the elderly. And yesterday we had a whole lecture about a lecture and a workshop about DNA CPR. So do not attempt resuscitation, or do not attempt CPR. And we're learning about CPR, the complications of it, and how you would explain a DNAR to a patient and a patient's family and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I'll see you guys later. So guys, it's lunch time and we're trying to do behind the scenes of surprising Clem with this cake. This was supposed to be, oh sorry, this is just a kilo, and this is Fifi. You guys, they know you, so you don't need to introduce yourself. What are you doing?
Just put it in the middle.
I thought we
couldn't make a C. Just make a C.
Okay, so we're going to give her the cake soon.
Baby,
and I'm gonna cover it.
Oh my god, wait.
No, how are you going
do you know what? I wanted to
Happy birthday, dear Clem! Happy birthday! Yes, Clem!
Make a wish.
Say a wish, make a wish, make a wish. 25 wishes.
To finish this course. That's all I want.
Come on now. Okay, present. Go on then. Present the gifts.
From Lou.
From me and Joan and
Fifi.
Salma.
Oh, and Salma.
Yeah.
Salma's way.
Oh, thank you. This is really
When you
cute.
open it, you know what it means.
Okay.
So you
And you understand the struggle
the struggle for the
that it
last
has
week.
been. Film opening.
Wait, don't tell me this is
one. Whilst you and Lulu went. That's why we didn't want you to buy one.
Oh my god! It's actually similar to my other one. And then what's in here?
Open.
Maybe
open.
you get like
You get
flashbacks. Okay.
Flashbacks as well. She get flashbacks from all the questions we're asking.
I love you guys. Oh my god.
There's something else. There's something else.
This was been a pain about this thing.
There's something else in the small one. In the small one.
Oh. Happy birthday, baby girl. Hope you have an amazing day with me.
With you, look at
Dare to ruin it. Hey, why would you ruin my day? Okay, may God grant you many more prosperous.
Oh,
yes. Oh, love you too.
Mine
Love
is
you
an
too,
essay. I'm
Lulu.
sorry. Again, she wrote it there again.
Oh, Salma, John, Adiola, Emmanuel, Gemma, Tanya.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, someone is missing.
Who?
Tamrat.
So guys, we're going to Halls to visit Lulu. Lisa Keller, say hello.
Hello.
Phyllis.
I thought we've already done
Look at Phyllis here looking like an 18-year-old. And
Hey
that's
guys,
birthday girl. Oh wait,
birthday
let's see you. Okay, look at the birthday girl with all her presents, so overwhelmed and stuff. Okay, we're going. This is Halls. This is where I used to live. I used to live in that block right there.
What do you need to do is start from here.
Oh right, okay.
Going on.
And then this is Stratford.
And then here, come.
And we're going to
Shoulder.
View Cinema.
You want what?
So guys, we are in the cinema and we are about to go in. So yeah, Clementina is redeeming our tickets. Phyllis, what movie are we going to watch?
Us.
Are you excited?
Oh, I spelled it.
What? What did you say?
Can you repeat? Like, can you do it again?
It's fine. I'm gonna cut it. It's fine. Are you excited?
I am excited. I've been waiting to watch this movie. Like,
You know, your life doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to say the perfect things all the time, okay? Go and then Lisa Keller. It's so dark. Are you excited to watch us?
no, she calls it you.
She said you.
Yeah.
She said it was you we're watching. We're not watching you. We're watching us, okay?
You and us.
You and us.
Equals yes.
Ah, God.
I like horror movies.
Anyway, we are just waiting for Clem to come back and then we'll go watch the movie, hopefully. So guys,
I had a lovely time.
we just finished watching us. Look at this one, always,
She's
on, the
always
phone.
on the phone, antisocial.
And I am so confused. Are you confused?
I'm really confused.
Are you confused?
I feel like they have some explanation to do. Like
we
they
need
to
to
let us
like
know
watch a
what's
video
going on.
to explain what's going on because I feel like there's a lot of like symbolism around it. But anyway,
And we're in Zara right now.
we're in
trying to
Zara.
do some window
Lulu
shopping.
doesn't want to be here. We're gonna be like 5 minutes and then Lulu and I are gonna go home. Good morning guys, it is Wednesday now and it's about 8:20 p.m. I just got to GP placement and I've got my smoothie here just because I don't always have time to have breakfast in the morning before I leave, and also yesterday I think I had way too much sugar, so I think I'm a bit constipated. I know that's a bit TMI, but yeah, I think I'm a bit constipated, so today I'm gonna try to just detox, if that makes sense. But anyway, I am supposed to be sitting in with the nurse this morning, and I'm excited because I don't think I've sat in with the nurse before. I've sat in with the nurse practitioner, but not with the nurse. Hopefully there will be something that I could be able to do or help out with and get signed off today. That's what I'm hoping. So I'll sit with the nurse this morning, and then in the afternoon I'm not sure what's going on, but I think I'll probably see a few patients before I leave. So last week they let me leave at 2, which was really good because that was the first time I ever left early, because I always leave at like 5:36. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen this week, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know. So speak to you guys later. Hi guys, so I am at placement now. It's currently 8:44 a.m. But the nurse I'm supposed to be sitting in with this morning doesn't come in until 9:30. So I've got about 45 minutes to do something. I think I'm going to start doing my lobs, and yeah. Hey guys, I'm back. So it's currently 1:57 p.m. I just finished having lunch with the nurse that I was shadowing this morning, or sitting in with this morning. It was amazing. I had an amazing morning because remember I told you guys I was excited to sit with the nurse because I wanted to do some things, do some more stuff like procedural skills. So I did my first 2 injections today on real patients. Did my first 2 IM injections. So I did one on the arm, which was a vitamin D. Yeah, it was vitamin D really, because the patient had vitamin D deficiency. So I gave that in the arm, and I gave another one, which is a depot injection, which is a contraceptive, and you give that one on the bum muscle at the back. So I gave that. So 2 injections today, and I also explained how to use peak flows for 2 patients as well. So that means that in total I've done peak flows, I've done IM injections or intramuscular injections, I've done blood pressure, manual blood pressure, and urine dipstick. So that's 4 skills I've done. In first year we have to do at least 4 of all these skills in order to pass this section of the placement. So I think there's a whole list of things I could do. I'm just glad that I've ticked off at least 4, because that's what I'm required to do to pass that section. But hopefully next term I'll be able to do more things on the list, things like pregnancy test or checking the blood sugar level. I think those are things I can do easily on here. So I'm excited. I saw ear syringing for the first time. So the nurse did ear syringing where the patient had wax in their ears, and she basically did the syringing and you could see the wax coming off, and I saw that, and that was very interesting. But I'd never seen that done before, so that was interesting. And yeah, and then we also had a 12-year-old boy who had come in for an asthma review, and it was good because I could explain to them how to do the peak flow, and I also saw the nurse explain to them how to use the inhalers properly, check the inhaler technique, and also to explain to them how to do it properly, because I'd forgotten how to use it properly. So that was a good demonstration for me. At least now that I've seen it in practice, hopefully I won't forget, because those are the sort of things that they can ask you to do in an OSCE, to explain to a patient or a 12-year-old boy how to use the inhaler, and you need to know how to explain it to them and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue doing my lobs now. I have a clinic at 3 o'clock, and I'm seeing 3 patients. I'll finish again at about 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Then I'll go home, but I will speak to you guys in the evening because I've got church, and then I'll speak to you guys after church. So yeah. Hello guys, it's Thursday afternoon and it is 3:44 p.m. I am terrible at vlogging. I forgot to vlog. Actually, I didn't forget, I just couldn't be bothered to vlog last night after I came back from church, and this morning I didn't vlog. So it's 3:40 now. We had a pharmacology lecture this morning, pharmacology in geriatric medicine. We had that this morning, and this afternoon we had anatomy. I just came home to grab something, and then I'm going back to uni. I will be doing my lobs and doing some dear sims, and hopefully I'll show you guys how I've been making some of my notes. And yeah, let's go to uni. Okay guys, so it's currently 16:39 p.m. and I'm just going to show you guys now how I do my notes. So some of you may know that I use Google Drive to type up my notes, because you can open it up anywhere and it doesn't have to be You don't have to be using the internet. I don't have to store it on a hard drive or on a memory stick or whatever. I just have to go log in on my Gmail and on whatever computer, and I can open it up. So I have different folders on Google Drive, and I think the two main folders are just PA school and some other documents to do with my writing. So when you open up PA school, I've divided it into 3 sections. There's all my assessments are in here, so my case histories, my reflections, everything, and then all my notes, so from my PBL, the different systems, and then this is just other stuff, so I couldn't put them in either category. So I'm going to open up my notes now, and you have notes from different systems here. I think the best example to show you guys how I structure my notes would be neurology, and if it's not too long I might show you guys what the notes I did from male health as well. So the very first thing I do when I make my notes is I start by doing a cover page. I think this is just something that I personally like to do. So the cover page usually just includes the title, which system it is, and I just take random pictures off from the internet really, and this is just for my personal preference really, and it just helps me be more motivated to go through that, because when we started neurology I remember that I wasn't really a big fan, and so I just needed to do things that would help motivate me. So as you would see, I used a lot of photos. Now going on, the very first thing that I always start to make sure that I understand is the anatomy, because I feel like before you dive into learning conditions and all of that kind of stuff, if you don't know the basic anatomy of that system, you might struggle a little bit. So what I start is always trying to make my notes for anatomy, and the one thing that I would advise in terms of making notes is that when you're learning about the anatomy, always make sure that you are able to link that back to the clinical significance. So there's no point really learning about the different parts of the brain, for example, if you can't link that back to the clinical significance, why that's important clinically. So for example, it will be important to know about the different parts of the brain and their functions, and which different parts, which different organs and different parts of the body that they control. Because, so for example, in a stroke, depending on which part of the brain is affected, you would see the different symptoms that you see in stroke, as you might not always have the same symptoms depending on which part of the brain is affected. So anatomy is always important. As you can see here, I use a lot of pictures. Some of them I take from online, and some of them I take from the lectures as well. So that's the very first and important part that I always try to include in my notes. Some systems like MSK, so the musculoskeletal system, which we're doing now, it's essential that you know the anatomy, like the different muscles and bones and all the different hip joints and ankle joints and all of that stuff. So what I use is this website called Teach Me Anatomy. I would definitely recommend Teach Me Anatomy, because they explain to you all the they give you nice pictures, explain to you all the anatomy, and then they also give you like the clinical significance as well. That's what I've been using for MSK. So I just wanted to show you guys that in relation to MSK. Then the very next bit that I try to work on is the physiology, so how different things work. And again, I think this is very important because you need to know how systems work in order to understand how the pathophysiology of diseases, or to understand when things go wrong. You need to know how things work normally. So in this one, I was learning about the neurons. This took me back to biomed and just learning about the different parts of a neuron, the functions, and learning about action potentials and synapses. And I know that I learned all of this before, but it just helped to refresh my memory and have all of these in one place, because then I can just go back and like just refresh my memory. So again, I took this information from lectures. A lot of these pictures are from the lecture, and sometimes as well, if they mention something in the lecture that I didn't understand, I will go and Google it and find a picture and insert it on there, because like I said, I love using visual aids because I'm a very visual learner. So yeah, there's also one section as well which is very important, which I incorporate in my notes, and these are the different conditions. So like I said, I do follow the matrix of conditions. That's the matrix of all the different conditions that we have to learn by the end of the degree. I think there's like about 300 of them or so. So for each system, as I make the notes, sometimes now it varies about, it depends on how I'm feeling. For neurology, I decided to write down or make posters and flashcards for that, and I'm going to leave a video down below how I make the posters and the flashcards. So I made for all these different conditions, I did Dear Sims for them. But for MSK, because there's so many, I'm going to be typing them up because they're very, very easy to type them up. So when I say Dear Sims, I mean definition, epidemiology, etiology, sometimes pathophysiology in there if they explain it properly, risk factors, signs and symptoms, investigations and management. So this is rheumatoid arthritis, which I did on Wednesday. So yesterday during GP in the morning while I was waiting for the nurse. And again, I'd like to use a lot of pictures which I take from online or some sources online, and I put it in there. Sometimes I incorporate like side effects of the treatment and the mechanism of action, and sometimes I use flashcards. So and I write next to the conditions if it's a 1A, a 1B or 2B, and again I've explained from in a previous video that just depends on whether we need to know the management or how to diagnose it or both. So I use a lot of pictures as well to help me understand the different conditions. So again, I'm going to type up all the conditions for MSK because it's so long and I can't be bothered to handwrite it all, and it's quicker, I think. So although I really love making posters, I don't think I'll be making posters for MSK because it takes such a long time and I need to put in a lot of pictures. So I think this is easier for me to just type it all out. And then sometimes in lectures, for some systems, we usually have cases, and what I do is I incorporate these cases as well in my notes just to give me examples of how these kind of patients or conditions can present, so the kind of ways that they can ask questions for that. So we had a couple of lectures where the woman who was teaching us neurology just went through loads of cases for headaches and stroke, and she was giving us an opportunity to take a history from her. She'll do role play, and it just helped me really to know exactly what kind of questions to ask for different presenting complaints to do in neurology. And then the next thing I always incorporate in my notes is investigations for that system. So I don't know if some of you know, but at St. George's we don't have to write a dissertation, and we have replaced that dissertation module with a new module called investigations in clinical medicine. And so that means that at the end in second year we're going to write an exam all about investigations, different investigations for clinical medicine. So for each system we have to do investigations for that system. So I incorporate that as well in my notes. So I just like to have everything together. I know it's a different module, but I like to have everything together. So this is the lecture we had, investigations in neurology. We went through different investigations like CSF, which conditions you would do that in. So for example, meningitis, lumbar punctures, CT scans, and they went through loads of scan images, and I just copied and pasted loads of images from the lectures, and I used Radiopedia as well. They have loads of imaging on there as well, which was really good. And then the last section of all my notes includes extra notes from PBL. So again, at my uni we do PBL. We have PBL sessions every week, and we have learning objectives, what I call LOBs. If I talk about LOBs all the time, I'm referring to learning objectives from PBL, which we have to do every week. So sometimes I can learn extra information from PBL that wasn't mentioned in the lectures, and so I don't have a place to really fit it in my notes above. So what I do is I just have a section at the end which says extra notes from PBL, and I just write those notes. I just post all of them there. So that's the last thing that usually comes at the end of my notes at the end. So yeah. Today is Saturday and it's currently 4:30 p.m. and tonight is Clementina's birthday dinner, so I am going to meet Lulu at the train station at the tube station, and then we're gonna make our way to the restaurant. So we're hoping to leave at 5 because we need to be there by 6 or later 6:30 because that's when the dinner starts. So yeah, I'll just be taking you guys on that journey. So we just arrived really early. The dinner is at what, 6:30, but they asked us to be here at 6, and we're here at 6 and there's no one here. So we're just gonna take pictures until everyone comes.
No black people timing, guys, so we're practicing for professionalism, you know. So when you come early to events, it shows you'll be early for work.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, we'll show you guys the dinner when everyone comes. Why
So we look so different. Look at all the other videos of me